the month of February. We missed our January meeting. It was a weather day and the building was closed, but we also, some of us forgot about it anyway, so. This is an open session, and anything that's said, you may be recorded, and you are subject to being videotaped during the meeting as part of our attempts to comply with the open meeting law in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Do you want to say something about our last meeting?
Minutes.
The minutes of the last meeting, yeah.
1 second. Turning pages. I was transposing them, but I'm going to go back to the original. Tuesday, December 26, 2023. Meeting called to order at 3:15 p.m. Again, it was an open meeting recorded via Berlin Cable. Barry, chair. Brenna, clerk, present. We read the minutes for October 17th, 2023, and for November 21st, 2023. Motion to approve and seconded for both minutes. They were voted unanimously 2-0. There was a discussion of contracted services monies that may be moved around, redistributed due to need for fiscal year 2024. Discussion of perpetual care dollars investment to be contemplated in short-term certificates because the interest is better than in a regular savings account. Robert joined the meeting at 3:25 p.m. Barry moved to send a letter to the treasurer to move the funds from where they are to a higher yield savings account. Clinton Savings Bank, Avidia were both discussed, and also the 4 years, the 1 year certificates at 4.4% were discussed, and we seconded and voted 3-0 to move the funds to higher yield per investigation. Bills reviewed for December and signed. Discussion on the paving projects, South Cemetery paving incomplete, and the seasonal opportunity is passed. We discussed, sorry, my notes are jumbled here. There was a discussion, Robert talking to Fred regarding the status. Town sent out notice for the town report looking for our status, and then there was further annual report discussion including the driveways and the trees, plowing, volunteers needed, early spring prep and Memorial Day planting and death and burial projects. George Pendergast files have been alpha filed, and that was the end of it. This motion to adjourn is made, seconded, and voted unanimously 3-0 at 3:55 p.m.
Any comments about that?
No.
If not, is there a motion to approve?
Seconded.
Motion.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous vote in favor. Okay, bills and accounts.
Okay. I didn't total this up because I didn't have it. In case I found another one. This is the one that's from January.
Okay, we got some do in-house
I had
when
all
they've
the,
got
I
time.
had all the planking, and I had
Yeah.
all the bolts for to
Yeah.
put the planking on, and the straightening was, time, and so.
And when there's not a lot of snow, they have time
Time
available
to
in
do
the
that, and
winter.
now they can have a second mower, or second trailer to go places, and you're not,
You don't have
you need
just
two
one.
trailers, you need two trailers, you have two trailers to use now.
Right, so now you don't have to make two trips. You can load them all
Yes.
up and off
Yeah.
you go. Right.
Yes. They did a phenomenal job.
And
on
it's
it.
in condition to be used more generally than it was before.
Yes,
We were using it to trundle things around within the town and stuff, but
So now it's roadworthy.
in the daylight only and everything else, so.
yeah, like
This
it's
is
got,
much
it's
better.
got all nice lights, really nice lights, they put nice lights on it. and
Yeah,
They did a phenomenal job on it.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna,
Awesome.
so we have bills here of $469 for the superintendent. Is that, we should have two.
No, I have another one, because I made two separate,
Oh, okay.
because I had had that before, and I just,
Okay, and this is, this is, this is dated 1/16, and we have some parts that were to do with the wheels on the trailer. Total of $510.
Is that all trailer? No.
No.
No, gotcha.
no.
So the 41, no, I'm just asking.
yeah.
Gotcha,
This is him.
Gotcha.
This is the superintendent.
gotcha.
1 month of superintendent pay.
Yep.
So, all those in favor of paying the bills?
Second it off. Aye.
Okay, we'll do that.
That's that one, I got another one too. so-
Yeah,
Actually got one after that, it's a separate discussion.
Oops. I forgot which signature to use. Doesn't matter, they're both really me.
there you go. As long as it isn't somebody else's name, it's okay. And what's the other one?
This is for January, that
Excuse
was
me.
December, that's January.
And this is the other month of pay that we didn't deal with last month.
No, that's for this month,
Oh, that, well, all right, whatever.
that's this current month.
Oh, I'll do the real silly me.
Yeah.
They're both real. One's for art.
And this is for Joe O'Day.
This is for,
The graves he's selling, he's turning back into the cemetery.
oh, okay,
Or James O'Day.
yeah. This is the case where we had Joseph O'Day, and I had a call about it and discussed it and so forth. I've had a couple of calls to deal with it. And I indicated that the graves could be sold back to us for $100. And that we can't return monies for perpetual care. And he's asked to have his $100 back, and that's graves 21 to 24 in the
Rose.
North Cemetery.
Row 6 in the Quaker section.
Hmm?
It's in the Quaker section,
Row 6, yeah.
row 6, he's
In the
got it
Quaker
listed.
section, yeah.
He had all his paperwork, so.
Oh, and he's got his slips too, yeah.
I've got my mother's.
Okay. So we have all that paper that we can file on the whole thing. Is there a motion to pay Mr. O'Day his $100 and reclaim the graves?
Seconded.
Okay.
Motion made.
Done. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. We can all sign that.
Yep. I'm gonna borrow your pen, thank you. Him too?
Yes.
Yeah, superintendent, I get it. Okay. I'm sorry.
And that's good. Those are graves that somebody will want. There's always somebody wanting to be in the old part there, so
Yep.
Right.
we can sell those.
I'll have to go exactly where they are.
Hmm?
I'll find out exactly where they are. This, I know row 6.
Row 6. I mean, I know they're in the book, so,
Yeah,
'Cause I
I knew
looked
they
them
were
up.
there too.
yeah, I looked them up.
Which number's 20, what?
21, 22, 23, and 24, row 6. Quaker section.
Row 6. Yeah. And he bought them a long time ago, so it was only $25 a grave when he bought them, so,
Yeah, I think it's 1983.
yeah, 1983. My goodness, that's 40 years ago.
Yep. I think that's around the same time my mother's, she was a little sooner than that, but it
Yeah.
was the same price, because I have her too, right in her
Yeah.
old phone address book with the phone numbers.
Oh, yeah. He moved to Florida years and years ago, and now he lives in Georgia near Atlanta. And he says, don't think you're gonna get away from winter if you go there. They have winter. It isn't as long and it isn't as severe, but they have winter.
They have it,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the first place he went was in the middle of Florida, and he found it out there, too.
Well, Herbert, I think, found that out too,
Yeah.
when he went down there.
Yeah. It's a lot more moderate in the winter than it is here, and it doesn't last
Right.
as long, but it's,
Still winter.
and in the summertime, it's downright awful, so
Yeah.
they're welcome to it.
Yeah, well, what is it, people say you go down for so long, and then when you can't stand the heat, you come home, and then when it gets a little too chilly, you go back down,
Yeah.
Right.
when you have that flexibility.
Yep. Okay, anything else?
Did we, the CDs, did those get moved to something?
No, and I want to talk a little more about that today, and
Okay.
he's not here again today, so one of these days I'm going to catch him and talk about it again. No, I haven't dealt with it. I wanted to deal more specifically with the whole business, and I brought in the list out of the town report. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts that she calls
Cemetery?
cemetery. And they've got a Sons of Union Veterans Fund, which is $1,608. I don't know whether that's a cemetery fund or a general trust fund thing. I have a feeling it's for cemetery graves, but I don't know. Now, the perpetual care, there's, all right, it doesn't say the different things they're for. There's a flower fund, and then there's the perpetual care fund, which I think there's two. One is listed as perpetual care, which is $31,000, and then there's also a big account that's $120,000. I believe that's also perpetual care fund. I think there's $150,000 in perpetual care fund, and that's the one that I really want to get into the better interest, because that should pay us, I don't know, $5,000, $4,000 or $5,000 a year if it's got some decent interest, which
Yeah, we
it
do.
has not been.
Right.
And then there's another one in Avidia. And I'm not sure, there's a $26,000 and a $7,900, and I've got to check with them and work it out in terms of what they all are. The flower funds used to be in a whole bunch of little accounts when Sally had it, and that got done away with, and it all got put in one, but I've got to make sure we know which one is which here, so we know what's happening with
And
it.
even if that's $7,500, that's still a good, that would still,
Yeah.
should go into a CD to get
Oh, yeah.
anything
Oh, yeah.
at this point to build it up is
And if
plus.
if they're, it's a one-year CD, it's fine, because you renew it every year and decide what to do each time. And secondly, you can get the interest off it when you want to, at least once a year.
Yes.
So, That's a much better setup.
So what would we be doing, leaving a couple grand in these 4 accounts, spread across these 4 accounts, so that we had,
I don't know that we need to do that at all. I think we can put any of them into a one-year CD.
so these have nothing to do with our regular operating?
No,
Okay,
Exactly,
gotcha,
but I would-
gotcha.
I would
the
think-
income off them is available for us to use.
Gotcha.
You wouldn't want to put the income into a CD, would you, in case you
No.
wanted to use it?
No, right.
Well,
You mean roll it in?
Well, if you've got, say, $3,000 worth of income sitting on one of them that you could use for something, would you want to put that into with a CD, or would you want to keep that off it so that you
I would
could
keep that
spend
out.
it? I would too. That's what my question is.
And then each time we roll over, I'd pull the interest
Off
to-
it.
off it to go into a different thing, if we have some need of it.
Yes.
It's pretty much good to leave it in the bigger fund if it's gonna
Oh,
earn more
absolutely.
income, if we're not
Absolutely.
gonna spend it anyway.
Yes.
Most of the time in late years, we've been using some of that if we ran over at the end of the year or something like that. And we certainly can use it for specific things as well. One of the things we could use it for instance, if we're doing volunteer work on stones, we could use it for materials and stuff for that kind of stuff.
Yes, and also, yeah, you would want that, I would think you'd want that thing, and now if we ran over and we had that, we ran over on our budget and we were taking the perpetual care, the interest, would they make us take that interest before we could go to the finance committee, or would they make us,
We pretty much can use that at our discretion.
okay?
That doesn't mean they can't look over our shoulder and tell us what they like or don't like.
Well, I would just, if you ran into that situation, would they want you to tie that interest money up in the CD, or would they want that left loose? So
Oh, I don't think that, I think that's something we can do without their concern.
Discretionary?
Yeah, I just could,
If
just a
if they
question.
wanted to discuss it, I mean, obviously, we could discuss it and ask if there was, and get some input there. The biggest issue would be if we're running over on our budget and we wanted to have them give us reserve fund money. And at that point, they might want to ask about other things, other sources and stuff.
Yes.
But as of right now, we have not been running over.
No,
When they changed the way that we do and
budget,
they had highway take over the mowing, and they took funds to cover that out of our money and put it in the other account. Since that time, we haven't run over.
Right.
But some of the stuff that happens gets paid for out of that account, and we don't have to worry about it because it's out of their account and not ours. But it's, we haven't come close to spending all of our money the last couple of years. However, we also have not gotten the tree work done and some of that stuff
Yeah.
that we would like to. Some of it has, but there's more that we'd like to do. And,
Right.
Come spring, I'm not gonna be quite as worried about waiting till June to spend it this year. If there's something like that we wanna do, I think I'd go ahead and do it, because I don't think we have to worry. I think we're okay, budget-wise. And we still have some trust fund money. I don't know how much right now. Let me look in June's report. Gifts and donations. Expendable trust funds, here we go.
Go, this one.
Cemetery. Flower and perpetual care. They say, she says we've only got a couple of $1,000s in it. This is as of June of '22.
yeah, that's,
But $2,000 is there that we have not spent any out of that for a while, so we know there's at least $2,000 sitting there that we could grab and spend anytime.
probably
So-
more than that.
I wouldn't, I don't hesitate to do some tree work or something up to a figure of $2,000 or $3,000, because we've got that to use if we run over on
Right,
the budget money.
right.
But that's okay. So we know we've got that. She says there's $1,450 in the Sons of Union Veterans thing,
yeah.
and that was the account I was talking about that I thought was ours. This is the stuff, this is the principle of the funds,
Okay,
and this is the money that, she has the principle of the cemetery perpetual care at 180 a year ago, a year and a half.
180,000?
180,000. So maybe all of those accounts that all those bank accounts in his list are perpetual care.
180,000 times 5% is pretty good.
yeah.
She says there's 7,000 in the cemetery flower fund, and there is one of those accounts that's at 7,000, so that's the flower
Flower
fund.
fund.
That is a separate account. And
So-
we've got a couple of thousand that we can spend out of here, so that we've got some money to spend. And I think that the Hearts on Camp funds, the Sons of Veterans money is for care of veterans' graves and that kind of stuff, so.
Right.
Which you could actually, could you
We've
use
got
that,
$1,400
you
there.
could use that to repair some of the graves too, right?
Yes, if we needed to repair some stuff or get some more markers or do things like that, those are things we could use that for.
Right.
Um,
And the flag holder markers, yeah.
No, the Legion ones come from the Legion. Roger gets it says US veteran on it. He gets those somewhere. And
Yeah.
Legion
Ah.
Auxiliary they get their own, they
Yeah.
have some money for it, and,
Well, the Legion provides them for the current veterans.
the ones that are Legion members get Legion, and then Roger has
Others,
A
others,
source.
he gets this is US veteran. It's
Yeah.
a generic,
yeah.
marker, if they're not a Legion member.
But
'cause
if
I
we
have
wanted
them.
to get GAR markers, or we wanted to get revolutionary markers of those things, we could use these other
Yes.
funds for it.
I don't know where you can get those, but.
And I'm still very concerned that I've got to get after the Veterans Agent people again in regard to the Harold Sartell, who died in World War II, but not from battle, but from service, and he has no personal marker at all, and I have been after them for a while about a government
Flat
stone.
marker.
And we couldn't find, we have since gotten some more information. I think I have a service number for him now,
That's
which
what
I
you-
did give them, but I don't think that they've,
You should go to,
I still haven't heard anything back from them that
used to talk to.
they can find the
Ryan,
documents they need in order to do it.
Jimmy,
There's some question of, while he grew up in Berlin, there's some question of where he served from. He may well have been in Washington DC and signed up from there rather than from here.
yeah, but he would still be entitled to a government
What?
mark. He would still, should still think he would be entitled to a government mark.
Oh, certainly. Oh, yeah.
Because.
Oh, yeah. And certainly since he's buried here, we have a right to request it from here. But the thing is, they still have to find the documents about his service so that a marker can be applied for.
He can be rightfully
Yeah, yeah.
made.
But as somebody that Berlin considers a Gold Star sailor, we ought to be able to
Get a marker.
get a marker.
Yeah.
Of course, then we got another one, several years ago, we had a guy that was checking things out in regard to Civil War stuff. And he saw the GAR marker on a grave with no gravestone on that lot. And that was a guy that served from Vermont and lived here most of his life afterwards, but he oh God, what's the name? I know the lot and I know the name, but
But he died here.
and he was gonna apply for one for him, but I've never heard anything more about it, and we certainly haven't had one materialize, so.
No.
So that's another one that we
That's
ought
another
to,
one that
maybe a
ought to be.
flag.
we ought to work on. We at least have a flag on him, and there wasn't even a flag on Sawtell, and I've put one there a couple of times, but it goes away because it's sitting in the middle of a place where there isn't anything, so the mower people move it.
No, I'll tell you what, I can tell you that. I won't tell you on TV. I can tell you what's going
Okay.
on with that,
All right.
because I don't want to start
Yeah.
pointing fingers
that-
at names.
Help strikes again?
There's a couple of those.
Yeah,
Do we have any other business that we know of?
I've done that once or
offhand?
twice. Help strikes again.
Hmm?
Nothing. I'm just being rude. No, there was something that I thought of earlier. Oh, yes. Jeannie Kowal, whose house burned down on Gates Pond Road a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Jeannie Brooks. Her wonderful boyfriend, artist, carpenter, died in the ambulance yesterday or this morning.
Huh.
He had surgery 2 or 3 days ago on his pancreas, and he's not with us.
Oh, well,
And I don't know Jim's last name, but he was a sweet guy and very talented carpenter, and so we probably will be hearing from them.
I haven't heard, I assume she's moved into the house by now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, they were
It's
moved
done.
in a couple of months, they got
Yeah.
in time for winter, and
Yeah.
it's unfinished but beautiful, they don't have
Yeah.
any kitchen cabinets yet, but,
Yeah.
it's livable, and it's just beautiful, and he's dead,
Well,
so, that's sad.
however,
However, so let me know, pick up the phone if you need me,
yeah.
I can be a liaison if you need me to. Poor Jean.
I think that we've hit any of the things that are alive at this point. We got a couple of burials coming up and so forth, but not stuff that we have to do anything about here.
No.
And
Do we have a preparation for, we were talked about it last time, see if we could get a group of people to get out there and clean up the Memorial Day flower plots where can we maybe send out a community message via the Berlin Facebook page to say we could use a few
Sure.
volunteers?
sure.
When should we think about, it's still, the ground is obviously still frozen,
Oh,
but
no, we don't
time
want,
flies.
we don't want to do it. I don't know. I don't think there's much frost in the ground, but
There's nothing,
nothing.
Really?
nothing.
It's
but
been too
frost.
warm, too much of
Paul's-
the time.
There's
There's
It's
no
never-
frost.
it's
He's
never
digging
gotten
down his
significant.
site, he says there's nothing in the ground, there's no frost.
Wow.
But at the same time, this is stuff we want to do
Next meeting?
April.
Right.
We want
Right.
to be doing it in April roughly, so that it's ready for May.
I'm just raising
Yeah.
the issue
Yeah.
to put it in our thinking caps to remember next meeting that we should probably start
Yeah.
pinpointing some dates.
Or we can put out something on Berlin Neighbors Connect or something like that too.
Yeah.
A notice on that.
Do you want me to go ahead and do that? It's just a little
Yeah.
mention that maybe we could
I think I'd wait,
organize some people
I
and,
think I'd wait a month before I did it
All right.
though. Now,
all right.
do it sometime in March for.
Yep.
With a date, pick a date in April that we might go do some stuff and see if a few people come and help. Try to get some people to come and help. Put
Okay.
it out that way and then make sure we've got a couple of more people that we've already lined up and then go and do it. And if some more people come,
Right.
fine, we'll put them to work.
You
That's a
see
good
Susan,
idea.
You see your cousin, mention.
Yep.
Great.
Okay,
I think we're there.
are we ready to adjourn?
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Motion made to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.